Hey, good morning, everybody. It's Saturday. Getting ready to take off. I got a house wash to do this morning, and that's going to be it. But check this out. That's the little electric pressure washing, 2.5 gallons a minute. And it's a hose reel. Going to be using 100 foot of blue hose. That's the RO water system. There's the tank. It's all plumbed up with a float valve system in there so it doesn't overflow. It's got a bypass that's going to hook to the pressure washer, so when you're not engaged with the trigger, it go ahead and goes right back into the tank, just like a regular pressure washing setup on the rig. So that's going to be cool, and then we'll be able to get these cars washed up. So I'm looking forward to doing a how-to video on that. I want to do a shout out to Cheryl Smith and Mark out in Nebraska, my wife's good friends and mine, and her sister Sandy. Susan's out here getting after it. She doesn't like to be on film, so let's check it out. See her over there? She is getting after it, folks. Let's sneak over here. Look at her go. She is getting after it, folks. She looks pretty sporty on that John Deere. And look at this yard. I mean, my hat goes off to my wife over and over. Look at this place. You know? Hey, there goes a cat. Anyway. It is really cool to not have to do all this work. When I retire, I'll go ahead and we'll tag team the yard and all that stuff. A lot of good stuff going on around here. All right, so you know what we got to do, right? You know what we got to do? What do we got to do this morning? We got to get after it. See you at the job. All right, here we are at the job, and I was mistaken about what we were cleaning today. We're cleaning the pool cage. When I got in the truck, I saw that it was written down. I was reading the wrong day. It's been a long week, right? First day back to work. All right, let's do some downstream class. That's the basic setup. This is your unloader right here. This is where you're going to hook it up. If you have a 4-gallon-a-minute machine, that's what you're going to see. Always soak your injector in some fresh water. That bucket needs to be cleaned out today. A little bit of maintenance on there, and then we'll get started and show you how to hook things up. All right, let's get after it. All right, pretty simple setup, and you can make this job easy or you can make it hard. This is the way I learned how to do stuff, so I'll just pass it on to you, and you can change things up as you go along. Okay, there's your injector. Hook it up to there. Now, I use one of these tubes. You know, when I first started, I put fishing weights at the end to get this thing to the bottom. And this black tip, I always get asked what it is. It's just what's left over from a plastic filter. Okay. Actually, going to go to the middle tank today. We got a little bit more in there. And I got to stop by and get a fill up on the way back today. We're ready to rock and roll for Monday. Put that in there like that. You're all set to go. Just one thing. Always take the lid and put it in the toolbox. You'd be surprised how easy it is to get distracted. Of course, always wear safety glasses when you're using SH. Okay, after you get that taken care of, peel off your hose, hook the hose up, and you're ready to go to work. Okay, now if you're the type of guy that likes to use different soap tips for different things, then you'll have to get a downstream bypass, which is a remote control. It turns the soap on and off. And that'll work for you guys that want to use different tips. Okay? But if you want to get started with the basics, this is the soap tips. It turns the soap on. These are the rinse tips. It turns the soap off. From 300 feet away, you can operate this. This is a 0060 tall reach tip. The original tall reach tip, which goes further than the tall reach tip. This is a V-Jet soap tip. This is a 4015 rinse tip. This is a 0015 wash jet tip. Okay? These turn it off. These turn it on. Karate Kid, right? Oh, wax on. Oh, wax off. Okay? All right, let's get after this pool cage. And it's just that simple. Let's get after it. All right, let's have a look. It's a little dingy on the outside. See all this right here? That's just to be nice and white. See the mold growing on here? You can see the tint in the screens if you look. Okay? And there's plenty of mold inside the cage to deal with here today. And we got a painted surface, so it's going to be easy. You see how that's moldy up there? See that? It's like that throughout the whole place. It's going to be easy. Downstream, rinse, go to the bank, and then go home. We'll get started on that RO system. We got to read up on the instructions and figure out what's going on. All right, let's get after it. All right, let's have a clean look here. Now what I mean by clean is, look at that. See that? All that black stuff's gone. All that algae that was along the side's gone. Screens are all nice and clean. Just got to note a little bit of damage here before I go inside. You see this right here? It's all ripped. And we got some holes in the screens where somebody was trying to go crazy, it looks like, with a pressure washer. See that? See them holes? There's some more over there at the bottom. Anyway, just take note of this kind of stuff. Clean the furniture off, wash the shed real quick. Only took a minute, not even that. 30 seconds. Oh, wax on, wax off, you know what I mean? Look how clean this is. All the mold's gone. Now you see that right there? See how dirty their house is right there? See how clean that part of the house is? That might be a possible upsell on a house wash, and the driveway needs it as well. So let's get ahead and get back here and get after this. The transition will be excellente. All right, let's get after it. Let's take a look. You see the daylight through the screen right there? The big hole in the screen. All the screen's hanging down. It's all busted. You can see it, the lines. It's loose over there. So we're gonna have to be real careful, and I gotta use the jet wash tip to get this stuff off of there. So this is gonna be a tricky one. We'll just have to lay back a little bit, be gentle with it, maybe come from the side. We'll see. Let's get after it, all right? Whoops, forgot about it. Sorry about that. And now, what time is it? It's time for the satisfying runs. Last one of the week. Let's get after it.
Can't make it for any reason. If Lars isn't there, we're ready. 3, 4.
All right, let's take a look. Look at all that mold is gone, gone, gone. See that? Deck looks great. Furniture's all cleaned off. Screens are clean. Shed's clean. Furniture's clean. Took less than an hour to do this job. So, you know, once you get the basics down, you get the equipment that you need. This work is very easy. The outside is clean. We got a free class today. Hope you all enjoyed it. And definitely I enjoy helping everybody out. All right, I'm Don from Super Blast Pressure Washing. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please go ahead and do that. Ding the bell for more notifications. And remember, always get after it. Okay, always remember, drain your water out so you're not carrying a full load. And always rinse the gear out, especially if it's going to sit for a couple days on the weekend. Watch all the SH that comes out of this line right here. You don't want that stuff to be in the gear all weekend because it'll rot your metal casing out. Chlorine, sodium hydrochloride is one of the worst abrasive chemicals you can use around metal. Hey! Anyway, when you're done rinsing that line out, then you want to do this. You want to rinse this off. See how all the stuff's coming off of there? Right. Stick your injector in that bucket of fresh water and watch all the SH that comes out of that line. There you go. Now when you feel the water's dry, if it's slippery, then there's SH still in the line. That's nice and clean water there. Fill your bucket back up. Always keep the gear rinsed out. And always remember, get after it. And last but not least, always do a dummy check. See this? This is open. Make sure it's locked. Make sure all the lids are on. Make sure the tank's down at least 150. We'll let a little bit more out. All right, everything's closed up. Ball valves on here turned off so water doesn't drip in your garage all weekend. This is a butt plug. Stops the water from dripping out. All right. And you know, if you're going to get a wrap on your truck, make it look simple. Just a name, big phone number. My wrap, the first wrap I had was way too busy, too much information. Anyway, if they want to find out about the information, they're not going to be able to read it on the van. Not gonna be able to read it on the van going down the road at 200 miles an hour, but they can get the phone number and the business name. All right, I'm Don from Super Blast Pressure Washing. Now it's time to go hook up that RO system in the garage. Let's get after it. Okay, well here we are, and as always, when you're doing something, you gotta always go to the hardware store, right? Okay, I'm gonna be installing this. I took this door trim off of here because I'm gonna mount my board for this beast, the 2.5 gallon pressure washer and hose reel to that wall right there. Okay, now here's the RO system. It's going to be very easy to install, very easy to hook up. The instructions are basic. We're going to be using the 100-foot of blue hose, of course. Now this bracket right here, see, that's going to go here just like that. I'm going to put a bolt here and a bolt there. And if you can see the space that's left, right, the pressure washer hangs right on this bracket. Okay, custom made Ameritech. Okay, now we're going to plumb right into this line right here. We're going to get a T, and we're going to hook into there, and we're going to put a ball valve, just like your everyday garden hose type thing, right? Then we're going to have that board that runs from there to that post. We're going to bolt the RO system right up to there. Okay, then we'll run our lines to the tank where we're going to be filling in this baby with some spot-free water. Then it's going to come down here. This is a ball valve. The handle's off, so we're going to hook our water line from here over to the wall, and we're going to hook it up to here to the L pressure washer. All right, then we're going to have a return line. See this? That's going to be the bypass. So when you take your finger off the trigger, the water continuously feeds into the tank, just like your buffer tank on your pressure washing rig. You know what I mean? So it's going to be a good little thing, and it's an electric. So my wife can come out, flip it on, watch the level on the water. You're not going to use 50 gallons to wash your car. Get the soap cannon out, spray it on down, rinse it on off, turn the RO system back on, fill the tank back up for next time. But anyway, we'll be back with a step-by-step installation, okay? And we're going to start by bolting the RO system up there. And we're also going to be bolting this to the wall so we can get this pressure washer out of the chair and put it right there. And we're going to put this inlet level with this tank so it's gravity fed, you know, boom. Gonna get the most flow that way. All right, I'm Don from Superblast, and I'm off to the hardware store. Let's get after it. Okay, how you doing? Step one here. My step one, okay? This is bolted to the wall. These are 4-inch carriage bolts that bolt into the studs. There's another one here that bolts into this stud, okay? This is our bracket. See how it's flexing? The pressure washer is going to sit right on there, okay? So let's go ahead and mount that. And we'll be on our way to a better place, right? All right. See how this is going to work. This is pretty heavy. It ain't heavy. He's your brother. That's why you got to be smarter than you look, you know. Bring this over here. Hoo-ha! Watch it. Look at that, huh? And your pressure washer mounts right there to the wall. Looks good. And we can put a couple more smaller carriage bolts down here, okay? All right, now all we gotta do is tighten this one up on the end, and that'll crunch it off. Here's your on and off switch. All right, we're gonna run the power right down to there. Gotta vacuum all that stuff up. Then we're gonna run our water line right to this outlet right here. And that'll hook our pressure washer up. And this is your bypass. Hook up the orange bypass up to the corner of the tank up here. You can see the fitting is right there. It'll wrap around that post right onto the fitting. All right, we'll be right back. Hey, here we are. A little bit more of what's going on here with the RO system. Check it out. We've got the pressure washer mounted to the wall. The hose reel. We've got our water supply hooked up to the tank. This is a ball valve, on and off. Okay. This is the bypass. So when you let your finger off the trigger, it keeps running water up to the tank. Okay. It's plumbed into an outlet right here. All right, this is going to be the water source coming out of the 5-stage reverse osmosis unit made by Aquatic Life. Very inexpensive model too. I think it was like 250 bucks total. Anyway, we're going to be mounting it right here. I got my marks. So we're going to mount this puppy right here. Then we'll run our hoses on down to there, and we'll be ready to rock and roll. Then we got to make a flush out. Then we're going to cut into this pipe here. I haven't decided where I'm going to do it yet. We're going to have to see. Wherever I can get the most flex. It looks like I can get most of it right there. So we'll head and cut that. But right now we want to mount this right here first. Then we're going to go ahead and hook up all the plumbing and everything. And it seems to be pretty easy. So I got this little gizmo here. And this, of course, is your water line hookup from the faucet to the machine up there. Has an inlet. We'll go over that here in a little bit. Just giving you an update on what's going on here. Very easy to install. All right, let's get after it. Hey, coming along. Got it mounted. Got all the canisters put in. This is the line that's going to come through after it's filtered. And we're going to hook this line here. And there's a float valve down in here, upside down, if you can see that. Ooh, it's getting dizzy in here. Anyway, all right, this is the water supply line here, so that's going to be hooked over to here, I do believe, because I got some flex with this pipe, so I'll be able to move it back and forth in order to get the spacing I need to get that T in here, because it will move from the wall. Anyway, got to run the supply line to here, and then we have a discharge line which is right here. That's going to run out and go down to a hose that I'm going to install. That's going to run all the way across the floor out to the garage when I'm making the RO water. So all the discharge will go out in the driveway. All right, but that's where we're at so far. We'll be back to work on it tomorrow and get it finished up. Then we're going to prime it, get everything working, and we're going to get to work making some water. Some spot-free water. Then we can wash the car. Look at my wife's car down there. Is that a beauty or what? I mean, that was a 2012. Looks like it just came off the showroom floor. It's only got like 30,000 miles on it. Takes pretty good care of it. Anyway, we'll be back tomorrow to wrap it up and do a demonstration on how it works. Exactly how it was hooked up from start to finish. As you can see, it's coming along. Everything's hooked up. The water supply, the bypass, the ball valve's hooked up. The canisters are up there. Basically, we just got to hook the water supply up and hook a couple more hoses up, and we'll be ready to rock and roll. All right? We'll see you tomorrow. Get after it.